Alrighty, everybody. Well, I got the first bit of my little sluice box portion all covered with the duct tape. It's got a nice, smooth, clean surface on it, so it's not going to get messed up too much by the water over time. And what I think I'm going to do is I had some other boards in my house. It was from an old bed frame, and I'm not using it anymore. We don't even have the bed frame anymore. But we have these boards, and I had been saving them just in case one day I decided to make something like a sluice box. Well, these also happen to be perfectly straight, perfectly edged. They're not warped or shaped or anything, or misshapen, my apologies. And they also happen to be long enough for the entirety of this. So, we're going to get these Allen wrench screws out of here. And I'm not quite sure if I have an Allen wrench on me right now. So, might have to get rough. Or I could just cut. Might just cut it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the sides of it, and that'll be the edges. And I want to actually put those down first, because what I decided I wanted to do is I actually just want to put these in there as wedge pieces. I don't want to nail these or screw these in there. But I am still going to shape and form these so that they are shaped the way they need to be. And then what I can do is put the wedges in between. It'll all fit perfectly down, so I'll have to kind of like, I have to figure out a way to keep them down. Might have to shave the sides like a bit of an angle so that they wedge down real well where they need to be. Oh, a lot of work to do. Back in the flat. And we're back. So, now we've got the shape that we're going to be having for our sluice box. And I think that is more than enough of the size that we're going to need. So, what I'm going to need to do is clean up a little bit of the wood on this side and try to get it a little bit more flush. And now I've got some old nails around here. And I'm going to try my best to nail them through the side into this board. It's another reason why I have it all taped up. So in case it splits, it'll still hold like this. This board may split because I did attempt a little bit of finagling earlier. And, well, busted one in half. But that's okay, because even though we may have messed one up, we may end up actually using some pieces from this. Since this one is busted, I can cut some little riffles and maybe have this as a backup in case our wedge design doesn't work. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get our dowels cut, and we'll be back just as soon as we get that done. Until then, magic happens. And here we are. So, let's just say the last couple of minutes have been a nightmare. Because two of my boards over there split on me. And I've got little pieces of wood everywhere because I actually had to bolt it. I had to nail it down underneath it because once I got the boards removed from one another and I got the Allen bolt out, I found out they were actually warped. Just slightly. There was a bit of a bow, and you can see that little gap down there. Now luckily, I can get my wooden dowels here, can fill in some of that gap. Or I might just end up duct taping a very nice smooth line all the way across here. Getting everything nice and cleaned up, make sure it's all uniform. And then I'm going to proceed to shape my dowels and just wedge them in between there and have multiple dowels going all the way down. Of which case, the dowels would go down with, I grabbed some old foam padding that I had. And I'm going to take this foam padding. I'm going to see whether or not it can collect gold, because it is a very, very porous material. I would think that like really fine gold would just get trapped in it. And I don't want that to happen. But I'm going to put this down at the bottom and see if that collects any gold within it, because this stuff is very hydroporous or anti-water. The water just runs right over this stuff. It doesn't really, I'm trying to think of the right words to say here, but basically, even when this stuff is completely wet, it creates the perfect little ripples that we need. On top of which, we're still going to have our chicken wire and our miner's moss. So we're going to put down the miner's moss. Then we're going to lay down the chicken wire. Then we're going to put our dowels. And then from there, we're going to fill in the entirety of the leftover spots with this material. And I think we should have a somewhat working sluice box. So long as the tape that I put on in between the cracks here does not let anything through it, I think I should be good to go for a really cheap, pain in the butt, do-it-yourself sluice box. Alright guys, let's see what it looks like whenever I do this. And there we go, everybody. It's not the best. It's definitely gonna capture some gold, that's for sure. I kind of had to finagle my miner's moss and cut it. And I also had to shape all of my corrugated metal here. I was really wanting to shape it like this to create some proper ripples. But unfortunately, you have to do what you have to do with the materials you have. So, I have this sheet running here, sheet running here. I've got 2 strips of miner's moss. And then I've got my ripples going all the way down. And we are going to take a dowel. And I am going to get this dowel placed in here. Oh, let's get that separated right at the right seams. There we go. What we're going to do is we're going to have this dowel in here. This dowel is just going to help to hold everything down. And I've got the other one on the ground over here. We're going to put them side by side here. Either that or I am going to cut and shape the rods to fit in there, which I think I'm still going to do. So let's see what the last bit of magic I can work would be. Well, I would have to say that looks pretty good to me. For a do-it-yourself sluice box, and for it being my very first one, I'm kind of curious to see how much material I could run through it and how it comes out. Every single piece is removable. All the dowels come right out. They're just fitted and slotted to go in the best spots to be wedged in there. This isn't going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. That's wiggly, but it's not going anywhere. And this one, well, this one's kind of giving me a bit of pain. Honestly, we might end up just sticking this one underneath here and just wedge it down on there like that. Let's see if I can get it wedged. Ooh. There we go. So you gotta be careful though, because when you wedge one further down, all these lose their grip. They start coming out. So I may end up having to create some little spots like this to hold the dowels down. But for the most part, I have got a semi-working sluice box. I don't think these pieces are coming out anytime soon. I think we should be good to go. Again, I do apologize. I'm not editing any of these videos. I just wanted to show people a rough idea. All I did was use basic wood nails. I sent the nails through here into another piece of wood. I mean, look, this thing is beat up. This thing's ugly. It does not look great, but if it catches gold, that's all I care about. If it catches gold, it works. So, tomorrow, I'm going to test it by running some pay dirt through it. I'll probably run about half a bucket's worth, and we'll see how much gold we can catch. Until then, everybody, I appreciate you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate everyone for stopping by for the videos. This was an interesting little project. I'm really curious to see if it's going to work. Who knows? I may need to make more dowels. But for now, I think that I can at least get some stuff done here and still have some decent results come out. So, there we go. That one's nice and snug. That one's nice and snug. They're all snug. Alright guys, I think for tomorrow, we officially have a sluice box. It's a weird one. It's not the best. It's ugly and it's beat up. But we're going to test it. Oh, well, I think that this has been a fun little experiment. And I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out tomorrow. Until then, everybody, have a wonderful day. Take care. And do me one small favor. Like and subscribe. Catch you guys later.